Welcome back, everybody, to Vintage Iron Range Dirt Track Racing. Today I'm joined by legendary race car driver Dick Christman. Dick, nice to see you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for stopping by, taking some time out of your busy schedule. Today you were up here in Hibbing for the Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Yeah, the last time I was here was, I can't remember. I'd taken all the back roads in, and we're trying to think the last time I was here, but I just can't remember. It's probably 15 years ago or so,
Yep.
Something like that. Yeah.
Are you a member of any other Hall of Fames anywhere?
Oh yeah, Superior and Ashland.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's got to be a kind of an honor to be inducted into a Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I raced 3 or 4 tracks. Superior, Ashland, Proctor, and Hibbing, more or less.
Yep.
Yeah.
How did you get started in racing?
Oh boy, I used to drag a drag car in New Brighton, Anoka. I had a little 32 Roadster with a Buick engine in it. And I was going down the drag strip at New Brighton, and there was a dirt track and a drag strip together on this, maybe about a block apart. So I was going down the strip and I broke the stabilizer bar in front of the car to keep the car from swaying. So I asked the guy, I said, I need a welder. He said, well, we go next door. He said, right over here, they got a dirt track and you can weld it up over there. So I went over there and I was welding a car and I heard this noise, and I went outside and looked, and here Russ Larson and another guy, they were practicing their cars around the track. Man, I was just watching them. I said, that's for me. I said, this is what I'm going to do.
So the circle track turned you on a lot more than the straight line stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, I never run circle track until I looked at that, and then I went home and I think later on, within a week or so, I pulled the motor out and I put it in a 1954 Buick 4-door. That's where I put the motor in.
So that ended up being your first race car?
That'd be my first race car, yep.
Okay.
First race car.
Roughly what year is that, do you remember?
I would say around 63, 64, something like that, or 65.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how did you come up with the number 89?
Well, first I had a 8. No, first I had a 3. Number 3 was we had an old coupe for No Man's Car Club. I drove that, and there was a number 3 on there. And then we got rid of that, and then I put number 8 on my car. Okay, so I wrecked the car, so I was out probably half the year. So I went back the next year. I said, I want my number 8 back. Well, he said, you can't have it. He says, well, give me a 9, 89. So that's how I got 89 then.
Okay,
yeah.
kind of by default then.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay, so back in your early days now, what's the story about you pulling your race car all the way to Hibbing?
Yeah, well, from Hibbing Racetrack to my house is Superior, and I'm 15 miles out of Superior, south. It's 100 miles from my house to here, Hibbing. And you won't believe this, but I pulled a car with a chain all the way to here, 100 miles. I put the pit guy in the car with the helmet on, and then we put all the tires and toolbox and everything in the back, and we come to Hibbing with a chain. Then we go up Proctor Hill, because we had to take the old highway back then, because it wasn't a freeway. So we'd fire up the race car, then he'd drive it up the hill behind me with the chain loose.
It was a little too tough to pull the car.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have to pull it all the time, yeah.
So then what did the guy in the car have to use the brakes then when you had to slow down?
Yeah, he'd brake and then slow me down. Then I know when he'd brake, put his hand out, do all the signals and like that.
That must have been a tough job for the guy in the race car.
Yeah, and then we come back at night. We had a little red light with a teardrop red light with a little wire in it to hold the lens in. Yep. That's the only light we had on the car back then. So
that's some dedication that not too many modern racers have these days.
Yeah.
You guys, you old school guys, you wanted to race, and
I'm old school. There ain't no doubt about it. Then after that happened, then I figured, well, we're always banging each other with the chain. I said, let's get a 2-inch tubular bar tubing and run it from I'll put a trailer hitch on front of the race car, and then I'll hook the bar to there, so when he stopped, then I stopped, we know nothing, So I was racing in Hibbing here, I still remember that, and a guy stopped, and I had the trailer hitch stuck out maybe about 10, 12 inches on the car. I welded it right to the bumper.
Out of the front of your
On the front bumper, yeah.
Okay.
So I stopped, and my trailer hitch went right into the guy's gas tank. Back then we had stock gas tanks in there, And it put a big hole in it, gas all over. So then the rule came out, no trailer hitches allowed in front of race cars.
So then you had to change.
So then I had to go to tow bar and, single axe trailer, double axe trailer, Yeah, so just
Well, at one time you had a very nice hauler. It was a white cube van.
yeah, I had the Chevy Cube van.
And just loaded with lights.
Yeah,
all
we
over.
had her. The thing looked like a Christmas tree going down the road.
That was a beautiful looking rig, though.
That was the Pete Parker trailer.
Yep. And nowadays everybody has these big, huge, fancy transporters, but they're just like big boxes. Your open rig back then, it just that thing was classy.
Yeah, well, you get these big trailers, then you almost have to have a diesel pusher to pull it. You got to have a lot of power to pull. You're pulling a garage down the road is what you're doing now, you know.
And I think those open haulers back in the day did a lot for advertising for racing.
Yeah, exactly.
People seen those cars going down the highway, and they're like, "Hey, what is that? And where's it going? I'm going to follow it." Nowadays, it's just a big box going down the road. You don't know if there's a race car in there or potato chips.
Yeah. They come a long way from the chain. I'll tell you that. yeah.
What all classes did you race during your racing career?
Did more or less super stock and late model. Super stock and late model.
What class did you like the best? Was there a favorite one?
Oh yeah, I like the late model, no doubt.
Did you like
I had really good luck with my super stock with the Chevelles, you know, and the Ozzy Cutlass.
Yep.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Cutlass. John Jones from Thunder Bay, he had one.
Yep.
Ron Jones.
Johnny Jones.
Johnny Jones.
Orange number 97.
Yeah, Johnny Jones. Yeah, Johnny Jones. He had one, so I had to go get one like that. With the Ozzy in it, and then I went to the Chevelle and.
So you like the late model just for the speed, or?
Oh yeah, late models. It's the power and you get the wider tire too. You know, you get the 10-inch tire and everything about a late model was really good back then.
No, you got hurt in your late model once. You hurt your back.
Yeah, that was in Superior. Yeah.
What happened there? What's the story?
The steering broke and I pulled over on the back straightaway, and actually it was a Hibbing boy that hit me. I can't think of his name right now, but I pulled over to the side on the back straightaway, and he went to pass a car, and there I was. He hit me in the left rear, in a 3/4 inch pipe on the left of the rear end, you know, holding the rear end stabilizer.
Like one of the four bars?
Yeah, with a 3/4 inch heim joint on each end.
Yep.
Well, that broke off and then went right through my aluminum seat, then right into my back.
No kidding.
Yeah.
What did you have to have surgery or anything? Or
Yeah, they had to cut the roof off and pull me out. I was in almost for a week.
Did it break your back or break ribs?
No, it was
just-
that close from the vertebrae.
It just hurt like hell.
Yeah, the first thing I did, I took my shoes off and I wiggled my feet because I thought
wow.
maybe I wasn't gonna.
That's scary.
Yeah, it was.
Do you have any lingering effects to
No.
this day from that?
No.
Nope. So you recouped great.
Yeah, it took me maybe, I think Rick Popovich, he drove my car there for a while, you know.
Okay.
After that, and then probably maybe a month after, then I got back into it again. It took me a while to get into the window to get, you know, back into the seat again.
Yep. So you liked racing the late models though?
Oh God, yeah.
I remember back, it was probably like 94, somewhere around there, up in Hibbing. I was talking to a fella named Jeff Nichols, who used to be a president for a few years at that point.
Yep.
And I asked him how things went that year, and he said, "Oh, they went pretty good. We had a lot of cars, a lot of people." But he said one of the things is they had a special. It was like $200 extra bonus for anybody who could sweep, win the heat and the feature.
Yeah.
And he said, "Doggone it, if it wasn't every weekend, either Dick Christman or Timmy McMahon would be taking that sweep money home." So that added up to be a lot of money by the end of the year.
Oh yeah. Well, they used to give me toll money. After 100 miles, you get a toll, $20 for toll money.
Okay.
And that's what it would cost me to come up here. $10 and $10. It cost me $20 to come to Hibbing.
Well, that's a pretty good
Now,
deal.
now you can't go to the top of the hill for $20.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So during your racing days, who were your fiercest competitors? Who did you look up to, or who did you race against that was pretty tough?
Well, the first one is, you know, Russ Larson Sr., you know. I mean, he it's been 50 years now since he's been gone, you know, Russ Larson, you know. I raced against him a few times, but to talk to the guy, he looks like a racer, he was a racer. He could be lapping the guy 4 times and you wouldn't let off. I mean, the guy was just awesome. And it was nice to talk to, you know, Russ, you know.
Okay.
And he was just a super guy. And then one of your locals, boy, I really had a lot of respect for Bob Girardi.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because he helped the Kelly boys, you know, after he quit.
Yep.
He
Love
helped
Bobby
the boys out all the time, you know. Bobby G was the same way. You stop and he talked to you and help you a little bit, you know.
Yep.
He was good for racing.
Very great, just a ambassador for the sport.
He was.
And great with people and
he
a
was
hell of a
number
race.
one in Hibbing.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got Bob Reed and Harry Hansen and you know, Wazoo and Peterlin and all the guys I used to race against, you know, and.
Hell of a group of racers.
Oh yeah, oh boy, we had a few beers out of here. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
What can you remember any accomplishments of yours over the years that you're proud of?
From Hibbing or?
Well, from anywhere.
That one year I swept. I won the points in Superior, won the points in Proctor, and then I won the points in Hibbing. I swept, and that's hard to do.
Yep, the three.
It's hard to sweep because Sunday night you're tired, the car's tired. That's the last race. You race Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I mean when you sweep it, that's hard to do.
Yep.
But I've done it a couple times.
And I believe that was in like the mid to late 70s, somewhere around there.
Yeah, 70. That's when I had the Chevelle.
Yep. Now, you claim to have over 250 career feature wins.
Yeah, it's about 250, a little over maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know here in Hibbing, you won the Superstock Mid-Season Invitational in 1977 and in 1982.
Yeah.
And that used to be quite a coveted invitational. It was a 6-cylinder Superstock Invitational.
Yeah.
And for many years, that was actually quite a coveted race. And
Yeah.
not a lot of people are even aware of that these days, that such a thing existed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, then you had Ashland too. I think I won two of the Red Clay Classics.
Oh, really?
In
Okay.
Ashland. I
Yep.
won
in,
two
in
of them.
Superstocks, or?
Yeah, Superstock.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
early.
So
Superstock.
most of your major successes came in the super stocks,
Yeah.
but you had the most fun in the late models.
Oh yeah, definitely a weight model. Definitely a weight model.
Okay. Is there any one particular win that sticks with you that might be your most memorable win?
Well, yeah, I had a couple here, but it wasn't big wins, but it was some special event they had or something like that. I think Provenzino, I think he was young then. I won at Provenzino. I think he won his class. I won the late model and down and like that.
Yep.
I still remember that, And then, I don't know. They all were special. Every time you win, it was awesome.
Is there any race that you always wanted to win, but just were never able to capture?
Well, yeah, it was a Silver 1000. I raced that a couple of times. I think I took third. I think that was the best I ever did in the silver. It was Matthews and Timmy and then me or something like that in the silver.
How about on the flip side of that? What was your worst night of racing?
Well, there was a few of them.
I'm sure
there was some thrill of victory and agony and defeat.
Yeah,
boy, believe me.
I'm sure the night with the late model getting your back hurt probably ranked up there with the worst night of racing.
Yeah, I would say Superior. Yeah, when I was in the car when they take the roof off, and I was hollering at the guys, I was, don't cut it off. I said, take the bolts out, because I knew I was going to race again,
Yeah, typical race car driver, though.
Yeah. I was telling them what to do, and I had a rod stuck in my back, and I couldn't get out.
More concerned about the race car than you were about your own health. But yeah,
when they did pull me out of that car that time, when the rod went through the aluminum seat, it looked like somebody took a shotgun and blew a hole through the seat.
No kidding.
If that was a fiberglass seat, I don't think I'd be talking to you.
Yeah,
I think that Heim joint would have went right straight through.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then eventually you quit racing late models and you became a car owner, and you had Danny McMahon.
Yeah, I had Danny run it there for a while there, McMahon, and then.
How was that experience?
Oh, that was, Danny, he was, Mountain Dew Danny, Oh yeah, we had some good times with him. And
another great racer who left way too
Danny,
soon.
I think he'd be good in a sprint car. Myself, I mean, he was good what he drove, my late model and whatever, but he was right on when it got dried out, that's when I think he'd be a good sprint car driver back when, but he did very good. We had some good times with Danny.
So he was a very good clutcher behind the wheel.
Oh yeah.
And then you two separated ways, and he went on his own, and then you went back into super stocks for a brief period of time and ran like a Fegger super stock for a little bit.
Yep.
And then I think maybe you ran a late model for Dean Johnson a couple times.
Yeah, Dean Johnson. I won the 3D car.
Yep. And then you eventually called it quits.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I won a feature in Proctor with it. The last one I won. Well, Bob Reed was leading it, and then he broke down on the back straightaway, and then I got the feature win. So
It was that the last race you ever raced?
I think that was. I raced. I tried a couple other guys' cars,
Yeah, but nothing really major.
No.
So then you ended up quitting racing. Wasn't your hip or knee or something? Didn't you have?
My shoulder. We raced 25 years with no power steering.
Yeah,
and you come in with tears in your eyes. You couldn't lift your arms up after you got it. It was 25 years no power steering. Pete Parker and Steve Larson were the last ones to put power steering on their cars. I told Steve Larson, you got to put power steering on there. He said, no. He said, it takes horsepower away and too much weight. Well, a couple of weeks after that, he had power steering on the car.
Yeah,
I still remember that.
Definitely revolutionized racing. But,
now it's just,
So all them years without power steering probably took its toll on your shoulder, you think?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Are you still involved in racing in any capacity these days?
No.
Do you go watch races at all anymore?
Yeah, I was Superior last night to the one that had
Oh, yeah.
Superior.
Okay, so you're still a regular and go watch races.
Oh yeah.
and stuff.
Oh, I just like. Yeah, just still, you know, I like the hitting boys are really doing. Peterman's doing good, and you know, and SCs. I like watching the SC boys and Provizinos. I like watching the Provizino boys race and Timmy, and I go on and on. And
So after all these years, you still got the racing in your blood.
oh, I
So-
still got it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, before we go here today, then, is there anything maybe you would like to say to anybody that's watching this video? Any words of wisdom or anything?
Well, I got to give a lot of credit to my wife, you know,
And
and my two kids for putting up with all the, you know what, you know, yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that, you know, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What is your opinion of modern day racing as compared to the old days?
I don't like the tires they got. You know, the tires are good for one race.
Yeah.
They say it's a plastic tire, you know,
Yeah.
and you can't do this to them, you can't do that to them. One you can groove, some of the other ones you can't groove, and I wish you'd give them a tire, you know, something that would last, you know, because that's a lot of money for a racer.
Yes.
You know.
How about for a fan's perspective? What do you think of the racing these days?
What's that?
As far as a fan's perspective, what do you think of racing these days?
Well, yeah, it's not like it used to be. You used to go to Proctor, and people would be, wow, just packed, you know, just packed with people. But now there's, well, it's, of course, the price now too, you know. You know, yeah.
But well, it's good to see you're still around and hanging around the tracks and watching racing. And I thank you for your great contributions to the sports to the sport throughout the years. It's much appreciated. And you're always one of our local neighborhood out of town heroes that a lot of my buddies always looked up to and stuff. So, Dick, I am going to thank you for stopping by, and good luck in the future. And we'll see you at the racetrack tonight for the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And thanks for stopping in.
I'll be there. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.